Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab and you're watching Star News Live. Here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Honolulu will remain under Tier 3 pandemic restrictions for another 4 weeks, even though Oahu's coronavirus case counts exceed Tier 3 threshold. Mayor Rick Blangiardi said Governor David Ige has allowed Honolulu to stay in Tier 3 as the city works on a proposal to modify the tier system. Based on the current system, Oahu was supposed to revert back to the more restrictive Tier 2 Wednesday based on the island's elevated case counts. But Blangiardi says the tier system was created before the vaccines were available. He says the vaccines have kept virus hospitalizations and deaths relatively low, so there's no need to add more restrictions on Oahu residents and businesses. Blangiardi urged all eligible Oahu residents to get vaccinated as soon as possible. Hawaii health officials reported 1 new coronavirus-related death and 128 additional infections today. The fatality was on Oahu and brings the state's COVID-19 death toll to 486. The state's total number of infections since the start of the pandemic is now 32,922. Today's new infection cases include 99 on Oahu, 10 on each Maui and the Big Island, 4 on Kauai, and 5 Hawaii residents diagnosed outside the state. There are 1,218 currently active infections in Hawaii, with the vast majority of them on Oahu. State health officials also reported 10 new hospitalizations today. As of Wednesday, there were a total of 58 virus patients in Hawaii hospitals, with 8 of them in intensive care units and 9 on ventilators. The first mobile COVID-19 vaccination clinic for Hawaii public school students was held today at Waipahu High School. The clinic was operated by Hawaii Pacific Health staff, and students age 16 and older needed parental consent to receive the vaccine. The State Department of Education is working with medical providers to stage the vaccination clinics at schools. 8 public high schools are scheduled to host clinics next week and 10 more the following week. The department is also working on plans for neighbor island school clinics. Schools will alert their students and families as the vaccination clinics are scheduled and send home the parental consent forms. State lawmakers have chopped the general fund's operating budget for the University of Hawaii-Manoa by nearly 14% for the fiscal year that starts July 1st. UH Chief Financial Officer Calbert Young reports that across the 10-campus system, the legislature cut general funds by nearly 9% overall for the coming fiscal year. UH Manoa suffered the worst hit, a cut of more than $35 million. The UH community colleges suffered the least, with a 2.8% budget reduction. The University of Hawaii system received $544 million in general funds from the state in the current fiscal year. Under the new budget approved by the legislature, the UH is due to receive $496 million in the next fiscal year. Finally, a flash flood watch for all Hawaii islands goes into effect this evening, with locally heavy rain and thunderstorms expected through Friday. The National Weather Service issued the flash flood watch starting at 6 p.m. today and lasting until late Friday night. Forecasters have also issued a winter storm watch for Hawaii Island summits, with heavy snow expected over the same time period. They said up to 6 inches of snow is possible above the 12,000-foot level. Weather conditions are expected to improve after Friday, with a return to a more typical trade wind pattern Saturday and Sunday. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.